An explosion so powerful it was felt 90 miles away, sent shockwaves through New York Harbor, and crippled the Statue of Liberty, shutting its torch off forever. But most Americans have never heard of it. Black Tom Island was a small piece of land, mostly man-made, built up from city waste as a landfill. By the 1880s, it was about 25 acres and had become a shipping depot, with a railroad connecting it to the mainland in New Jersey. In the early 1900s, it became a major munitions depot for the United States. Stockpiles of TNT and shells were housed on the island, where they waited to be loaded onto barges. The U.S. was officially calling itself neutral in the beginning of World War I, but American factories were churning out munitions, shipping them to the nations allied against Germany, including Britain, France, and Russia, but refusing to sell to Germany. Germany saw it as treason by a neutral nation. Amid rising tensions, German military intelligence established secret networks in the U.S., with spies posing as civilians, quietly funneling information. Their goal? To cripple Allied supplies on U.S. soil. In the months leading up to 1916, evidence shows that German operatives radioed false cargo manifests and manipulated shipment records to ensure weapons and explosives intended for the Allies were misrouted. These sleeper agents systematically rerouted crates bound for military export, most chillingly, to the Federal Ammunition Depot on Black Tom Island. On July 30, 1916, there were reportedly nearly 100 railway cars filled with explosives on the island, waiting to be unloaded. Munitions of all types were half-loaded onto barges and stockpiled in warehouses. It was estimated to be the largest arsenal of explosives anywhere in the world, aside from the war zone. At 2:08 a.m., German agents snuck onto the pier. Several small fires were set. Then, an earth-shaking blast. A crater 375 by 125 feet erupted. Over $20 million in damage, which would be $500 million today. The explosion was so colossal it registered 5.5 on the Richter scale. 7 people were killed, including an infant that was thrown from its crib in Jersey City. Windows shattered across Manhattan and New Jersey. The Brooklyn Bridge shook. Ellis Island had to be evacuated, with the newly arrived immigrants transported across the river to Lower Manhattan. It was felt 90 miles away in Philadelphia. Fragments traveled long distances. Some lodged into the clock tower of the Jersey Journal building in Journal Square, over a mile away, stopping the clock at 2:12 a.m. The Statue of Liberty felt the full blast, damaging the torch-bearing right arm. Before then, visitors had been able to climb the narrow staircase inside the statue's arm and look out from the top of the torch. But that has been closed to the public ever since the explosion. The U.S. was preaching neutrality, but their actions spoke louder. No arms went to Germany. Germany's covert sabotage campaign wasn't an accident. It sent a message. If you won't stop arming our enemies, we'll stop the weapons ourselves. Immediately, authorities spun it as an accident, blaming stray fire or negligence. But investigations, including by the FBI, later confirmed German agents were responsible. It helped fuel anti-German hysteria and nudged America closer to war. It even influenced the Espionage Act. If you visit Liberty State Park today, you won't hear the story echoing through the trees. There's no monument, no crater, just a weathered plaque hidden along the shore, facing the Statue of Liberty, a monument that still bears the scars of an attack on American soil during a war the U.S. wasn't officially involved in. Most people walk past it without ever knowing that one of the largest attacks on U.S. soil happened there over a century ago.